Good evening, salam sejahtera, vanakkam, ni hao. Welcome to another edition of Coffee Chat with me. I'm Roshni, your host for this show, and I'm also the brand ambassador for Anti-Aging Yoga and Wellness Malaysia. This program is brought to you by YOZUMM TV in conjunction with 100 Days Chair Yoga, organized by Anti-Aging Yoga and Wellness Malaysia, founded by Yomaster Dr. Adrian Suresh. This program's aim is to create awareness to the public about the importance of yoga and mental health. So we are running this for the 100th day, and today is the 27th day of our Chair Yoga program. This program is run every morning from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, and we have our ambassadors also present to give you a little bit of different exercises together with our Yomaster, Dr. Adrian Suresh. And for today, our topic is chakras and medicine. Yes, it's a very interesting topic, and we have a very special guest with us today. This guest is another doctor, and I'm just going to introduce him to you shortly. And our second guest is Yomaster Dr. Adrian Suresh. And as for our first guest, he has a master's in public healthcare management. He's also a European certified sports nutrition medical practitioner. He has been in practice for over 13 years, both in government and in private hospitals. His clinic, KL Sky Clinic Lifestyle and Wellness, is situated at Soho Suite, Kuala Lumpur. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I would like to welcome Dr. Roland Victor.
Rose, how are you doing? You're well?
Hello, doctor. How are you? Good evening to you.
Good evening, good evening. So I'm glad to be here today, this evening, to actually share my experience, I think, alongside the famous panelists, our Yomaster.
Wow.
And then today, I think this is going to be an interesting topic, and it's going to be a very interesting discussion on how
Yes,
the integration of modern medicine and also in context of yoga and its chakras.
Well, doctor, I heard a lot about you. Your clinic, Sky Clinic, and yourself and your partner, you are the buzz of the city, talk of the town. With 120,000 followers, you are certainly a wow factor. Well, shortly, let me just call upon our second guest speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your master, Dr. Adrian Suresh.
Vanakkam, selamat sejahtera, and how are you?
Vanakkam. How are you, Doctor Adrian? You are looking dancing in blue.
Yes, Dr. Ronald. Vanakkam, how are you?
Welcome to you.
It's nice to see both my guests in blue today.
Yes.
And I'm like the rose. I'm like the rose among the thorns, the blue thorns. Anyway, so Dr. Adrian, how are you today? You had your morning session, chair yoga session. How did it go?
Today is our 27th day of 100 days yoga, chair yoga, and it went on very well. And I think we are getting the what do you call it, the heat. Everyone is following us, and a lot of calls coming from all over the world. I even got a call from Sri Lanka today that they watch our program. And
Wow.
Later we are going live actually.
Awesome. And Dr. Roland, would you like to give us a little introduction of yourself and your background and the services that you offer at your clinic?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Roland Victor. I'm a certified medical practitioner in Malaysia. I have my own clinic called the KL Sky Clinic in the center of Kuala Lumpur, nearby the Twin Towers. And I practice wellness and anti-aging medicine. So in the segment of wellness and anti-aging medicine, we look into a perspective of 360 medicine. 360 medicine meaning to seek at the body holistically, not just in the context of diagnosis and prescription of drugs, but we look into prescription of lifestyle, because lifestyle is the key towards prevention. So in health, I think one of the key pillars is prevention is better than cure. I have a master's in public healthcare management also. So that's why Rose mentioned about being very critical about the crisis that we have at the moment. So I looked into it quite in depth. And when we look into the perspective of wellness and anti-aging, so what does a wellness and anti-aging doctor do most of the time? We do a lot of diagnosis in the terms of looking into nutrition, hormone, lifestyle adjustments, where we actually look at help improving the patient's life and also improve their lifestyle outcome. Back to you, Rose.
Thank you, doctor. That's very interesting. So when you call yourself a wellness doctor, is that similar to aesthetic, an aesthetic doctor?
No, I think the perspective is it's much more looking to the perspective of beauty per se.
Okay.
The lifestyle, how you look, your image, and everything goes in from inside out. So if you were to do I practice to make people look good? Yes. In the terms of how do we actually make them look good from inside out? So that means if it's your skin is good, if it's going to have a radiant skin just like what you got now. So that's definitely coming because of lifestyle, yeah, the eating pattern, the sleep pattern, the workout, the exercise. All of these are fundamental. It's not just about just maybe injecting some Botox or fillers and you expect to get a good 360 of healthcare. So that's what we look at. So sometimes, yes, we do also see some certain skin issues from acne, pigmentation, lifestyle issues regarding skin freckles, wrinkles. So we look at how to improve the body from inside out, not just on the surface.
Yes, many people think that they can cosmetically enhance their looks, but in actual fact, you have to build your nutrition. You have to actually have build your beauty from inside. That mainly takes place with the kind of food we consume. Could you just give us a brief rundown about the kind of nutrition that you would recommend to your clients or customers?
For in terms of skin, right? Okay, so
Yes.
in terms of skin, it's again we need to look at the amount of oil consumption, the type of oil that you consume, whether it's very hydrogenated kind of oils. One, we're looking at enough of rest, sleep, so you don't get a lot of eye bags. Then we also look into the good fats and collagen, where you actually get from certain kind of foods that are rich in collagen. And again, like certain essential vitamins like vitamin B, vitamin C, which is our key fundamental vitamins that actually improve the skin quality, texture, etc. So when you have good quality of food and lifestyle, automatically all your biggest organ in your body, which is your skin, works perfectly well. When it works perfectly well, you don't get acne, you reduce your skin pigmentation, you sustain and retain your collagen elasticity on your skin. I think that's enough for today for our skin.
Okay, thank you for the very detailed explanation. And today's topic, doctor, is chakras and medicine. This word chakra is a word which is derived from Sanskrit, meaning wheels, because they are said to be wheels of energy located in the body. Now, maybe I can give Dr. Adrian a little bit of opportunity to explain about chakras to our audience. Dr. Adrian?
Yes, thanks, Roshini. Definitely, it's a wonderful topic today because many people talk about yoga, many people talk about medicine, but less people talk about chakra. How chakra is actually associated with medicines and how medicine is actually helps in the care of chakras. It's actually so. If you find that this yoga is actually 8 limb of yoga, so 8 limbs. In 8 limbs, what actually all yoga teachers are doing is the third chapter is called asana. Asana is one type of exercise in the 8 limb, and many of them now are actually going practicing yoga very well. But in the yoga practice, there's also words like chakra, meditation, asanas. All these are related into yoga life. So today's topic, chakra. Okay, chakra means wheels. Very well said. And these wheels are all energy wheels in our 7 chakras. See, we have a major chakras. although we have a few chakras all over our bodies, even palm chakra, leg chakra, and all that, the 7 major chakras are called the prime chakras. And the 7 major chakras starts from Sahasrara, Ajna, Vishuddhi, Anagada, Manipuraha, Swadhisthana, and Mooladhara. So these chakras actually helps us to run our daily life with the supply of energy. And each chakras actually controls also the organs in our body. So that is the reason why chakras are very powerful in our body. And when you are a practitioner of yoga, you must learn chakra, because yoga is related to all the asanas, the postures, and chakra controls the energy of the postures.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So, in your opinion, is there any particular chakra that is more important than other chakras of all the 7 chakras?
To me or to Dr.
Yes.
Ronald? To me,
To
okay.
Dr. Adrian, yes.
Okay, frankly speaking, you cannot say your left eye is important or the right eye is important. Both eyes are important. So all chakra plays a very important part in our life. So, but every chakra has an individual, what do you call this, benefits. So I think this is where a lot of people don't understand about which chakra controls which organs and all that. So that's why today the topic is very indeed about chakras.
Oh, that's very interesting. How about yourself, Dr. Roland?
Okay,
What is
so
the difference between medicine and yoga exercise?
okay, so I would like, before I begin on that, I would like to add on a bit on what Dr. Adrian mentioned, because usually the modern medicine doctors don't comment so much on chakras and things, because first and foremost, we do not understand, and it's not in our syllabus of modern medicine. And that's what I define as one of the big failures in modern medicine, where there is absolute neglect of ancient medicine practice, which is inherited to us, whether it's Ayurveda, whether it's Chinese medicine, whether it's Mesopotamian medicine, Aztec. All the ancient civilizations have indeed significant amount of medicinal knowledge. If not, we would not be here today. Our modern medicine technically is less than only maybe about 300 or 400 years, if we were to compare for the time of when we first started drawing our anatomical diagrams by Leonardo da Vinci and stuff like that. Maybe that's the era where it started. But when we look into the chakras and everything, I did, in fact, on the first lockdown last year, I actually took like certain simple certification courses online to actually deep dig into these chakras, so that I could actually understand better when I was treating my patients. Why I say that is because some diagnosis goes into physical examination, understanding pressure points and stuff, which we've seen in Ayurvedic. We see that. We also see it in Chinese medicine, where there's certain pressure points and stuff. So certain pressure points are actually located crossing all these chakra positions and point. So when modern medicine doctors start to seeing it, like what I see from my perspective, this is purely my own viewpoint of it. I see certain points of the chakra areas, for example, from the root chakra towards the water chakra, solar plexus is the fire chakra, heart chakra. No? There's a lot of relations on the hormonal points, which we're talking about endocrine organs. And some of the endocrine organs that evolve into nerve signaling, which are also sort of like a chemical reactivity. And when Adrian said these are energy points, I totally agree with Adrian, because every single organ releases or generates energy. So when there is a certain disturbance in the flow of energy from point A to point B and then point B to point C, there is a backlog of chemicals or there's a disturbance. And that should be understood in terms of, if you're going to look like going a bit more crazy, like becoming like Doctor Strange, then you start understanding there's something more like molecular vibration in the body. So the molecular vibration is generated because of heat, radiation and stuff. So that build up, if there is a clog or there's a stagnation on the signal or the cycle, cause a form of trapped energy in the area. So we as modern doctors, I think they have to look back very very deep. I'm talking about 3,000, 5,000 years ago. What was done right at that point, or what was lost, and we got to like bring it to in terms of the modern perspective and see like, okay, what's it now here, and what was it there at that point.
Yes.
Nice. I see that you have a master's in public healthcare management, Dr. Roland, and you're also a European certified sports nutrition medical practitioner. So that explains your fit physique. I'm sure you must be having some kind of exercise regime that you are observing very regimentedly. Can you please share your secret of looking dashing and fit?
I do actually, but unfortunately, this lockdown has been pretty much of a challenge because I love to actually go into the gym almost like at least 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes get to the field for some football and or futsal. But it's been a bit of challenging working from home, working out from home. So I would say, as much as the rest of the Malaysians feel the stress of unable to move a lot, I too have that weakness. So has been not as disciplined as I was a couple of months ago, but at the same time, we need to understand how do we juggle it. So keeping ourselves fit is necessary, and the times where you cannot consume so much because you are not burning down, so you need to look at how you actually manage your calories as well. So
Actually, I have another question for you, but before I come to the question, I actually asked this question earlier, but I didn't get a chance to ask you properly. But before I ask you again, I just like to ask Yomaster Dr. Adrian, have you ever been in collaboration with Dr. Roland, and have you ever had any yoga sessions with him? Your chair yoga primarily. Did you introduce that to Dr. Roland? Have you had a chance for that?
Not really on chair yoga, but we had a lot of talk about yoga, and I've been to Dr. Roland's clinic, and yes, there's a lot of understanding about how to bring yoga into the practice. Because now, like what Dr. Roland says, that even we are also in association with Professor Dr. Ananda Krishnan, the Ayurvedic medicines and all that. Many of these practitioners now, they are trying to bring yoga into the practice, because the reason is, with yoga asanas, the exercise, it helps to boost the immune system. It helps to boost the blood flow, and also like what we're talking about chakras. So that is a technique in yoga. So that's why Dr. Ron has been saying that many of them are not understanding that this is the primary part of yourself. If you could do this first and you can recover, well and good. If no, then you go for the surgery. Correct, no, doctor?
True. In fact, I think I missed out in Roshni's question in terms of how do we look at yoga in our clinic. So
Yes, medicine.
even myself, when we are in the gym, sometimes I do a lot of yoga methods and stretching before we start certain functional exercise, and then making sure that our body is sort of aligned, our sacral, everything is good before we do certain weightlifting and stuff. Yet maybe Aiden would take it more detailed. Maybe I am just the one just doing the basic asanas and Surya Namaskar and everything like that, just to get my body activated. But I will also join sometimes I will watch the online that Adrian organizes. Sometimes there's also some yoga sessions at the gym. So there's something good that we practice, and we actually encourage some of the patients to practice certain yoga movements. Most of the time we tell them like, if you don't know much, maybe you can start simply by going on YouTube and following certain shows like what Aiden's doing. Tell them you can go and join and learn some parts, because there's no harm in it, because it's just a simple form of safe exercise without using any heavy resistance. More of it is more of a body weight, so it's pretty much safe for many people to even get into an entry level of practice.
So thank you, Doctor. So Dr. Adrian, your chair yoga program in the mornings, So looks like we have to get Dr. Roland to start watching us in the mornings. So your clinic operates from morning, right, Dr. Roland?
Yeah, we operate from about 9,
Yeah.
from 10 a.m. in the morning until 4 in the evening.
So it's a perfect opportunity for you to just tune in. You can even watch our recorded show later, because basically our chair yoga is meant for people who are working, tied down to their chairs, the computers, no time to get up and go for a stretch. And that's a perfect time for you to just stretch out and do your chair yoga in between your breaks or in between your customers, your patients, So it's a very good form of exercise.
Totally agree.
Since the gyms are closed, you can just come and join our class, one of our classes. And just for the attention of the viewers who are watching us right now, this program, the topic today is chakra and medicine. And together with me, I have Dr. Roland and Yomaster, Dr. Adrian Suresh, as my guest speakers. And for those of you who are watching right now, please comment interested. We are offering a free yoga class online, right? With the supervision and expertise of Dr. Adrian Suresh. You just have to comment and get in touch with us. There's also our WhatsApp number. And do follow our YouTube channel and subscribe to it as well. So the next question is directed to your master, Dr. Adrian Suresh. Now, regarding chakras again, because you are the master of chakras.
No.
Okay. So,
we got a certificate for chakra, so you better ask him, doctor.
Yeah. From you, then for the detailed one, I go on to Dr. Roland later for the detailed explanation. So, Dr. Adrian, your emphasis is normally on the heart chakra, when you come to meditation, which is the final part of yoga during our yoga classes. So, how important is this chakra, this heart chakra, in relation to yoga and well-being?
Yes. See, I am with this group. When I started my yoga, actually, most of them know, I also spoke to Dr. Ronald. I'm an asthmatic. When I was an asthmatic, I didn't know how to recover. So I went for this 7-day transformation journey and I learned the technique of meditation and breathing. Pranayama is very, very important. The breathing technique, pranayama. And while I was learning that, what I went into is yoga. There was another teacher who taught me yoga. And why I found that this wonderful teaching of Anagata chakra, because if you see the 7 chakras in yourself, it's called Anagata. And if you go and look into what is Anagata is, it is actually the play of the yin and yang. It's a balancing chakra. And it is actually nearer to your heart. And this chakra, that once who comes with classes like yoga or they go for anything, these people are coming with a lot of stress, depression, and this Anagata chakra helps to reduce the stress, reduce the depression, and it balances and create happiness. So Anagata chakra is a very profound chakra, and Anagata is not just a chakra, but it is actually unconditional love. It creates unconditional love in one to another. So that is the reason why, Rose, you know that once I finish all the I ask them to put their hand in the heart center to tune their chakra, and I also say this affirmation. Okay, you know that I would like to say that affirmation is, I am compassion, I am innate harmony, I'm healing present, I am unconditional love. Let it be that I'm forever endowed with these divine virtues. That means you are letting the chakra to radiate. So that energy will go and make you feel calm and composed. So this is important for each and everyone, because currently everyone going to stress. So other chakras will work automatically if you know how to fine tune it. But heart center chakra is balancing all other chakras. That is the reason why I'm more into heart center, and you can see my logo and anything I speak, I always speak about heart center.
Absolutely, doctor. Everything begins with the heart,
yes.
Right? Heart. And ends with the heart as well. So that is why this chakra is very, very important. You have to make sure you take care of it, because it controls your mental state and your physical state as well.
Correct.
Thank you for that excellent explanation, Dr. Adrian. And I'll be back shortly with you, Dr. Roland. And we're just going to take a short commercial break right now. So to the viewers who are watching, we will be back shortly. Don't go away.
Hello, hi, how are y'all? Hey, I'm Yomaster Adrian Suresh. Okay, for those who knows me, one more episode with me. I'm here today in wonderful place, Sky Clinic. Okay, I'm with Dr. Ronald. I just met him and I brought someone there to do a check. And many of you all know nowadays, many of us are going through a lot of issues. Especially a lot of people are now having a lot of stress. And now we are going to have our yoga therapy in Sky Clinic. I'm collaborating with Dr. Ronald and also with his team. So for those who are having a lot of anxiety, you're having a lot of tension, and you want to release to something, you have two parts. You have the medical doctor and you also have the wellness doctor. So we are going to have a lot of programs. Join us and find out more details. Text to me www.n218yoga-wellness and my number is 016-5282-710. Thank you.
Welcome back to Coffee Chat with me. I'm Roshni, your host for this show. Together with me today, we have Dr. Roland Victor from Sky Clinic and Yomaster Dr. Adrian Suresh. And our topic today is chakras and medicine. Welcome back, gentlemen. Yes, earlier before the break, Dr. Adrian explained about the heart chakra and how important it is. Now, Dr. Roland will elaborate on that same chakra, the heart chakra.
So Adrian actually made a very good point in terms of the affirmation of after doing the asanas, and that's absolutely right, because from the brain itself, there's at least about 40,000 nerve fibers actually run to the heart, and the heart is an organ that actually can be excited, can be worried, and that's what Adrian said, like, in regards to the stress and everything. So even if you look from the base chakra, which is the root chakra, or they call it the third chakra, we start understanding that involves a lot of earthing events in the body, from digestion, your colon, your probiotics, all of that. We look into the earthing, so the grounding of yourself, and then we move forward a bit into the water chakras, which is the creative mind, the creative ability. So some might relate it into reproduction health. Some might look into the function of the kidney, the adrenal gland, and everything. So that is the location of the water chakra. So even in my practice, when we see patients coming with reproductive issues, fertility issues, balance with your period cycle, there are certain yoga palpation techniques which we integrate, and we can actually palpate and realize that, hey, there is a certain pain and discomfort in this region. So we know already, like I said, like the movement of that chakra is technically disturbed. But of course, in our ability, we are able to run diagnosis in terms of certain test markers to also see the correlations of all of this happening. And then that's followed by the fire chakra or the solar plexus, where you have some people complaining about indigestive issues, poor digestive enzymes. So these are all technically hormones. There's hormones like ghrelin and leptin being produced by the stomach. And then, like what Adrian mentioned, when it comes to the heart chakra, it is involving not just the heart but also the lungs. It's almost like a full cardiovascular activity where it goes, where you actually bring in all the blood circulation and oxygen and nutrition that are traveling to the body. So that's a very, very vital organ, which is the heart chakra. Then followed by voice, which is the much more of the expressive chakra. So in this voice chakra, one thing that we realized, especially during the pandemic, a lot of us are using masks. So you actually clamp a lot of vibration and flow around this area. So I've seen a lot of people having thyroid issues because they cannot express this chakra out in terms of vocalization. Some of them are teachers, some of them are trainers, some of them are speakers. So in this work from home environment, it's always sometimes placed in this position of mute. You listen, or you cannot jump into a conversation like how you do in a common Homo sapien environment where you are thinking mammal, that you actually sit down in a round table to discuss, and you can actually move in and move out into conversation. So these things, even though not seen physically here, but because of our nerves and interaction connection, I think affects this. And then then moving on from voice, you go into a light chakra. This is what you see from the outer world. And it translates inside now, whether you see the whatever is going on is worrying for you, excites your brain signals, and also must understand that as much as the traditional approach of the light chakra is always a reflection of the third eye, but maybe we see the third eye as the pituitary gland, which is situated behind the brain. So that controls almost like a puppetry system in the whole body. All the major signals of stimulation of chemicals in the body start from the pituitary gland, and then of course the last one, which is your crown, which is your higher consciousness of own presence. That is actually our higher campus of our brain, where your consciousness is actually our greatest power that we have in the human body. So all of these, whether through things like the vagus nerve or our wandering nerve in the body, all secrete chemicals, and we cannot see chemicals as a point of just this is hormone, this is neurological signals. They are all form of chemicals in the body, and I see it into that perspective. So I can see, I have the ability to actually look into it in terms of the perspective of modern medicine and not separate both of it. But we need to see how both of it come into togetherness of the chakra.
So, doctor, that means Asian medicine and modern medicine can actually be combined?
It has to be.
That?
It has to be.
It has to be, okay.
It has to be. I mean, we cannot discount the ancient medicine, because we are here because of their practice. We are here because of all the knowledge that they have passed us, that allowed us to develop this far in terms of technique. And then one simple analogy I always say, that if those civilizations didn't have basic, good, fundamental medicinal approach, whether it's from herbs, whether it's from practice like yoga and stuff, then we wouldn't be here today. Those civilizations would have collapsed.
Absolutely. So those remedies and those beliefs passed on to us by our grandmothers, you know, right now when you are scrolling through the internet, you know, you find people are actually from all walks of life. They're already using all kinds of Asian medicine ingredients into their well-being, into their health regime. And I feel that it's always good to turn to Asian medicine, provided it is actually developed in a hygienic state.
Yeah,
Like
true.
many people come up with concoctions, they bring their home business and stuff like that. It's not recommended to produce anything from your home environment because we do not know what exists in the environment around you. And earlier on, you mentioned about the mask. When you wear the mask, when you're breathing into the mask. This is a very interesting topic. I think Dr. Adrian, you would like to answer or elaborate on that, on the fact that when you use the mask and you take it out, how does your yoga help? The breathing pranayama that you teach, yes. How does that help?
This is something that what doctor said is many people doesn't know. Many people don't understand how harmful is the mask is actually. So for those being in my class, I think Rosh, you should know that I always emphasize on the Vishuddhi chakra. This is a chakra here called Vishuddhi chakra, and this chakra is actually controlling the thyroid and also the breathing. Techniques of yourself. So once you learn the proper breathing technique, that means when you breathe in, you don't just breathe in from your chest level. This is called the conventional breathing. You need to breathe in through your navel center, where we call it Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is called fire breathing, but fire breathing, there's a lot of technique there. But when you breathe in from your lower abdomen, you get the oxygen going into all your organs, and then it shoots up to your brain, and you will have a better breathing technique or breathing asana. Because as an asthmatic before, I've been going to so many doctors. No one actually indirectly cured me. But in the 6 months of my yoga practice and pranayama, I realized that I was not breathing it right. Actually, we all breathe. We don't breathe, we'll die, right? But there is a technique. So this is what I was thinking that it should be taught in the school, in primary standard itself. See, the Pendidikan Pijas money and all that, there is a lot of things that we are doing without knowing it. So if the child is taught a proper breathing asana, I tell you, many people will create the immune booster by themselves. And when doctors say that very true, the mask is actually one part it blocks the virus, another part is actually cost you other part of your issues. So it's always the good and the bad in everything. So what we have to do is in yoga, we balance things. That is the only thing in yoga. Yoga asana is not about just come and learn yoga and go. No, it's a wholeness. 8 limb of yoga, yama, niyamas, asana. So all these things one by one you need to go. You have to go into dharana, pratyahara, pranayama. All these step by step when you go in, you will able to pick up the right, technique or a lifestyle. So this is what I for my understanding about how to prepare yourself for breathing.
So there's always something related to breathing when it comes to this mask, wearing of mask, you must make sure that you have proper breathing techniques. So those people who are always wearing masks, they're always advised to change your mask as well because it breeds all kinds of germs when you keep using the same mask. So Dr. Roland, back to you. So we're going to go back to the subject of yoga right now. And how would you connect medicine and yoga?
So I think I see in terms of perspective of yoga, I think yoga has to be understood is a lifestyle first. It's like it's an ancient term for a lifestyle term. So when we look at yoga, I think from a layman perspective, we straight away just jump into the perspective of movement, functional movements that are safe, healthy, and it does not require to have any equipment and stuff for the exercise. And as you start understanding deeper in terms of the movements, then you start understanding that okay, how does those movements actually activate certain chakra positions of the body, how certain positions maybe open up certain blood vessels, how certain positions actually improve your lung expansion, your oxygen capacity, your heart rate, how do you actually regulate the heart rate. For example, like modern medicine might look into like, oh, they have this box breathing, coffee breathing, whiskey breathing, but there are specific Sanskrit terms that actually is used in yoga. actually improve that. So I think my viewpoint, I think I got a question for Adrian, but my view is there's no harm at all in the practice of yoga, but there's a lot of misconception in terms of intertwine of people not understanding the perspective of ancient science, religion, and culture. For example, I mean, like, I ask you a silly question. Would you associate Ramly burger with a fast food burger or a burger done at home? We do not put them all into a certain box. It's all burgers like that. So we cannot. The problem in our country or some places is they always associate certain practices with religion. For example, like some people might say that, oh, you have a certain name, but are you Hindu or not Hindu? But they don't understand the perspective of human and science has to go beyond that. So if we live in that box, then we will be trapped in that box. But if we actually open our mind and understand that this is an exercise or form of good functional movement, and terms of Sanskrit doesn't matter whether you can use an English term and everything, which we see now. I mean, like how I'm reading, I'm reading all these yoga methods is by English terms. Unfortunately, I'm unable to understand good learners. Even like Aiden's damn good at all of that kind of specific terms. I will go blab with all those terms. But if I were to translate this information to a Chinese person or a Malay patient who I see, it's very easy for them to understand. And I bring the perspective of that into like simple habit. Don't worry about the names or anything. You just start doing this exercise.
Correct.
Then the exercise becomes right. Then the exercise doesn't become wrong. The exercise doesn't become sensitive at all. So we have to like neutralize knowledge of science, make it simplified for people so they don't keep it in tight boxes. And my question to Adrian is that certain positions of the body when we do, I know that it's beyond the 7 chakras that we have.
Yes.
That's of our power movement. We do like mountain pose and stuff like that. How does that positions actually activate the chakras?
Okay, doctor, that's a good question as well. Many people are actually doing poses, but they don't know which poses controls which chakras. Like if you ask me, if you say root chakra, when you want to do a root chakra, you want to activate your root chakra, the best pose of root chakra is called child pose. Very simple, easy. When you lie down and you stretch your body, that chakra will activate. So each and every poses that we do, it actually helps the chakra to activate, let the energy come out from that our body. Because now many people are doing yoga. When they go in for yoga center, they feel like, oh, it's just a yoga. I'm a yogi, I'm doing yoga. But actually yoga is a therapy. It's actually a therapy. So indirectly, you are preparing yourself before you have got a major problem, major illness. So it's actually a simple way of exercise, and it got a therapy. And postures like, say now, tree pose. When a person who's taking a tree pose, I've been doing this for a lot of students. Many people says my daughter or my son doesn't have a concentration. Actually, it's concentration problem in their mind. So tree pose gives you the balancing of your body and your mind balance. So there's a lot of poses. Some child will be moving left and right. So first few classes, I know they are not focused, but with proper practice, they become balanced. Then after a few months, the mom used to call and tell me, hey, my son scored well. That means his concentration balanced. So this type of poses in yoga helps our chakras. And 7 chakras, definitely, all the chakra need different poses. Like if you say butterfly pose, okay? You call it a butterfly pose where you put both legs together and you flap. That is actually for the sacral chakra. So that means it puts up your lower abdomen and you push up. So many other poses that has the benefit for the chakra. But before you go for the poses, you must learn the basic Pavan Muttasana. Pavan Muttasana means it's called joint exercise, or we call it wind release pose. So this is what Roshini knows, because when she had knee problem, when she came in, I never even put her to any asanas. I started with the basic asanas. So when you're basic, you will definitely go into your advanced. Oh, I think I answered you,
Okay.
doctor.
Yeah, you did. Certainly did. In fact, I call it in a simple term. I will say in English or Malay, the alignment dah lari. That means the alignment has to be adjusted.
Like the shoulder
We
also.
meant
Remember, doctor, remember I went to your clinic and I was talking about the alignment of the shoulders
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you had the back pain.
In
yes,
fact,
touching on that,
we were doing our simple exercises there when he was there in the clinic.
There's
touching on that
alignment when your
subject,
body is not aligned. Go on, Roshini.
touching on that subject, it's all to do with therapy, Master Adrian. It's all to do with therapy, and you specialize in therapy yoga. That's your forte, because you have seen a lot of miracle stories, and I'm one of those because I came to you and I had a soft tissue tear, and I enrolled you, and I enrolled as a student, and I found myself healing after the second month onwards. So I believe this therapy yoga, is very beneficial for anybody at all. It's just a matter of people just coming forward and trying it. If you don't try it, you will not know how much you can go further, with your limitations, right? And tell us a little bit about your collaboration. This question is directed to Dr. Roland. Tell us a little bit about your collaboration with Dr. Adrian at your Sky Clinic in regards to his therapy yoga.
Okay, so this is interesting because very rare you find medical practitioners looking out into a perspective of a lot of 360 transformation. So what we look at in our clinic is not just looking at diagnostics, but also looking in terms of our treatment plan, which involves lifestyle. So some patients, for example, we see a lot of patients, I think Adrian might know also, who have come to the clinic with a lot of hormonal issues. The main thing they come in with, okay, I have hormonal issues. So it could be as men with reproductive issues, maybe poor sperm count, erectile dysfunction, females with poor menstrual cycle, fertility issues, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and stuff like that. So when we look into the issues, we have to actually run, I call it like a thorough health audit, into from their sleep time, from their food, from their exercise, their job, what time they finish work, do they bring work back home, how much of hours they're on their phone. All these play a role. So once we do the audit, then we know, okay, what is most likely the concerning issue, and then we will conduct some testing. And then once we see, okay, there is a conclusion. For example, let's just say we have a young man coming in at the age of less than 30, 28 years old, not married, but having erectile dysfunction. This is very common at the moment, we see. So we then
That's due to stress, I think, right, doctor?
one could be that. One could be poor lifestyle, no exercise, bad breathing techniques, smoking, high consumption of alcohol, and poor pelvic floor muscles. So when you have poor circulatory issues, we have to look into how to improve their cardiovascular strength. Or when they have poor pelvic floor muscles, then they might have some erectile dysfunction issues. So we need to look at not just looking at fixing just the hormone, but actually looking at how to improve the whole 360 mechanical approach. So in that, we will have to look at our Yomaster takeover.
So that's how he comes into the
So in
team.
terms of getting what kind of exercise has to be done to educate them to improve their sacral chakra, to improve their root chakra, and again, like see when some asanas are even I discuss with them, but in terms of much more of a medical perspective, in terms of how they actually control their breathing and everything. So some who have issues with like I'll say I'll talk about men a bit with premature ejaculation. They feel it's a big taboo issue, but we speak professionally with them. They say that look, your breathing techniques are very bad. You can't even run 50 meters without gasping. Don't dream on having 1 to 5 minutes in your bedroom with your partner. It's not going to happen. Does it not feel because you do not know how to breathe. So you're almost fainting physically. So how to improve that? You need to learn how to control your breathing. The second like an athlete. An athlete can run on a sprint dash. They will not pant. They can do it back again and again and again with a couple of
Correct.
cycles. So these are all the things that are done by our forefathers who were like in industries like planting, building and everything few hundred years ago. It's only now there's a lot of sitting jobs, a lot of desktops that we have lost all of these functions. So when you lose that kind of functions, you get all your chakras disrupted.
Yes.
They become weak. They become weak. So if you're I think there's a lot of the Tamil jokes like the basement is out, it's out.
The joke for everyone.
Yes. Actually, this problem that you're talking about, Dr. Roland, it's also due to the present culture with the young people, also people like us who are older than the young people. We are all actually married to our gadgets. We are all very much into IT, and everyone is into gadgets and social media, and so you have a very sedentary lifestyle. It's not like how it used to be those days where people were active all day long. So in that term, I think this therapy yoga you're talking about with your master, Dr. Adrian, is going to be really good and beneficial for these people from actually all walks of life. So this is a very interesting collaboration that both of you are going to be involved in. So is this going to take place after the MCO is lifted?
Adrian?
No, actually, I have a lot of patients according to see doctor, and I think doctor also has some patients to see me. But with the pandemic now, everyone is going slow. But yes, it is a very good collaboration, because what I am giving out is actually the exercise and the therapy part. But what doctor has is a lot of knowledge about how one can recover without going for an operation, without spending too much of money into their daily. These people are spending thousands of dollars for all type of other treatments. So with this collaboration, what will happen is the first base collaboration, base thing that they will do, first step. If that level they cannot cope up or they cannot recover, then doctor definitely bring them to the second step. Correct, doctor?
Yeah, true. I think as we understand that the pandemic is taking everybody on a hit at the moment, we are still operating at the practice in terms of we can diagnose, but in terms of the next phase, I think Adrian's approach of doing the online yoga sessions, the chair yoga, is absolutely simple, where one can actually sit at home and practice from home. So even starting themselves on the basic sessions,
Correct.
they're going to see a lot of improvements already. You're going to see a lot of improvements.
Actually, we have to. Sorry, go ahead, doctor.
Just want to interrupt a little bit. So, doctor, do you know, without people coming to see doctor or myself personally, the 100 days chair yoga, some have got frozen shoulders also, have made the hand straight. I think
That's right.
Rosh, you know that, right? Yesterday, Tamil said the same.
One of our ambassadors, yeah. Tamil was doing his chair yoga with Dr. Adrian on live YOZUMM TV. And he found that he could actually go beyond the level that he used to go. And his hand went even higher. So that is a really good breakthrough, for someone who couldn't lift his arm up. He had some injury earlier. So this is what yoga does for the general public and for everyone in general. So it doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you lead or what kind of background you have. Ultimately, it teaches you the proper posture for your body. It teaches you the proper breathing technique. It also stabilizes your mind, because mental health is very, very important. With this pandemic going around, a lot of people are falling into depression. Therefore, the mental health of a person is only determined by their environment. If they are exposed to people like Yomaster, Dr. Adrian, and Dr. Roland, I'm sure their knowledge will be more in terms of breathing technique and exercise asanas as well. And thank you so much. We are almost coming to the end of our show. This has been a very, very enlightening topic for us, Dr. Roland, because chakras, we have so many chakras, but the most important 7 chakras, are we really giving enough attention to those chakras? So today, I think our viewers have got very valuable information through both of you, experts of chakras. Thank you so very much for that. But before I say goodbye and end the show, I have one soalan cepu mas. This is aimed at both of you. So who would go first? The same question for both of you. Who's going to go first? Okay, I go for you first, Dr. Roland.
To the VIP
Okay,
guest.
I read this somewhere because I do a lot of counseling for a lot of people as well on a one-to-one basis, because I like helping people who have problems, depression and stuff like that. Because when you help others, you also heal yourself internally. So I found myself growing through helping others. Yesterday, I had a question from someone that I was counseling. Okay, she said, I have this happy personality and a sad soul in one body. That means what she's trying to say is that on the outside, she's being happy to the world, but inside her, she has a very sad soul. So what would your response be to a person who poses a question like that to you, Dr. Roland?
So it's a very good, it's much more of a psychological question. We see this a lot, and I think this is very reflected with whatever we're going through at the moment, especially with young people and the social media and the peer pressure that they have. So it is almost like we see this. I call it like a TikTok disease for some people, where you put a showcase for everyone to see out there, but you are not living your true self. So end of the day, it's like you have to be yourself, because once you embrace your own truth, you cannot undo it. Just be yourself. Even though there is only one person giving a like on the post, they are honest about it, and you're honest about yourself being whatever you do yourself. So it's not trying to be someone you're not. So when you are that person, and when you stand up for your true self, you will love yourself more.
Absolutely.
That's all I meant.
It's about loving yourself. Dr. Adrian, anything would you like to say before we end the show?
I mean, exactly what he said is true, but everyone should remember that we have two energy in ourselves, the masculine and the feminine energy. So many people don't know how to embrace the masculine and feminine in themselves. So all these things are actually the confusion about their inner energy. They call it the desire and what they want to take it out from themselves. That is the reason why with the practice of meditation, yoga, exercise, any exercise for that, all these will balance yourself. And also, I like to say, our program now, if you see, many people are a little bit more better off than the depressed because of they enjoy doing the practice of yoga, because mind, body, soul get connected. So that is why every exercise is good, but yoga is a little bit of plus point because you use your mind, you use your body, and you use your soul.
Connect all three.
Yes. But again, I would like to say that is like what Dr. Ronald said was superbly right. Everybody has the same things producing to outside there, but it's a technique how you deliver to make it more simplified. So for me now, if you ask me, I want is rebranding yoga back again. Awareness. It is not about something I brought new. It is been there. It is been brought by the Patanjali Munivar and all the sitters. But what
Absolutely.
is not what is missing now is awareness. People are forgetting where it comes, how it is supposed to be practiced, and what is the benefit of it. So if these things they know, I think with doctors' knowledge and with the patient coming to KL City, Sky City Clinic, I think they get the essence. They definitely get essence. I think, doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adrian. Thank you, Dr. Roland. It has been a very, how shall I say, eye-opening topic today about the chakras and also about the mind, how you can actually control your mind and fight the depression that we have. So we need more people to come forward and take up activities, which are healthy and which are positive. That's the only way we can actually fight this pandemic and flatten the curve. And at the same time, everyone has to be safe and do their part to keep themselves safe and others safe. Right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Roland, for taking your time off today being a Sunday. We really truly appreciate your presence here on our show. On behalf of Yomaster, Dr. Adrian Suresh, and Anti-Aging Yoga and Wellness of Malaysia, we would like to say thank you to you and wish you all the best for your upcoming collaboration with Dr. Adrian. And Dr. Adrian, all the best to you. You have an interview. You're really going international. Yeah, you are having a lot of followers now from around the world as well. Thanks to your YOZUMM
I'm watching on the phone. We are having people from Vietnam, Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, as well as Indonesia.
Wow.
Watching this program.
And after this, you're going on to your next interview, right?
Yes. So Sri Lanka.
Yes. Sri Lanka, yes. Thank you so very much, Dr. Adrian, and thank you for introducing YOZUMM Chai Yoga to the public. And to the public and the viewers who are watching, thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in every day. For those who have tuned in for the first time today, we are running a 100-day Chai Yoga program by our founder, Dr. Yomaster Adrian. And today is our 27th day of Chai Yoga. Please do join us every morning, 8:30 to 10. And let's all be healthy together. Don't forget to comment interested. You are entitled for a free yoga class from Dr. Adrian Suresh. And thank you once again. Be safe, everyone. Terima kasih. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a wonderful Sunday.
Same to you.
Thank you.